Hello and welcome. My name is Wellington. I'm a developer advocate here at Desky, and today I'm going to present to you how you can create nodes, how to define nodes, and also how you can use ChatGPT to help you create your nodes. Let's get into it. Good. Now, the first thing you must do, just go to Blok.build, enter in the documentation, and then let's go into nodes. And here we have an explanation of how you can use the CLI command to create a node. It's a little bit easier to start when you don't how node works and how to define them. So here in documentation is really easy to understand. Now let's create a new project in PX, Nanoservice-TS latest project. We define a name for it, node samples. Let's select here install. Let's go with Node.js. So we also have the Python. In this case, since we can create nodes for Python, so let's also select Python. Just a heads up that right now, the Python runtime is not working 100% on the Windows environment. You might get some errors. Also the Node.js. So the whole CLI is not working 100% on the Windows environment, but you can use WSL to basically run within a Linux environment and everything is going to work. So yeah, right now it says that the Python part is only supported by macOS, so that's something you must know. In this case, I will not install the examples. So yeah, let's just wait for the project to be 100% created. Now the project was created, so let's just enter the folder and then let's open this on our editor of choice. Great, now we have this ready. All we have to do here is go to open our embed terminal here inside our editor, and then let's follow exactly what we found there on our documentation. So npx nanoservice latest create node. Let's just copy this command. Let's go back to it and back to this terminal here and just paste it. Great. Now it's gonna ask you for the node name. In this case, we can just call it an example. It's going to ask if it's a TypeScript or if it's Python. Let's go with TypeScript. And then you can select module or class. Let's start with module and let's start with the template class instead of this UI. So what happens is that the CLI is going to generate this node for us. It's going to put inside nodes here. You can see that we already have the example node here. And what's going to create is basically a whole module. What that means, you have a package JSON, you have the config.json from that node with the inputs, the properties that the node has, any other information you might have. Also, we already have a task ready for you here. So you can basically put all the tasks you need for that particular node. So it's a way for you to really create this node as independent or something that you might be able to deploy, in a separate service, separate container. Like if you would be working with microservices or even with Atomic, you would be able to just deploy the services on its own. And then this really tiny parts of logics would be able to connect themselves within one portal. So that's something that you also can do. It's very straightforward. And then here you're gonna divide all your input types. When you're working with TypeScript, you're gonna be able to just extend the nanoservice input type here. We already have the constructor. Just define your whole input schema there, and then you can basically go here to the sync handle and write the whole logic as you would do in a normal node environment using JavaScript, TypeScript. So that's the main idea. Now let's create another node, but this time we're going to create this using class. So class node. Let me show you this. It's going to be TypeScript and it's going to be class. Let's go with class again. Great. Now here on the class node, you can see that the only thing we have is the whole class itself on that particular node. So this node will not contain the task environment, will not contain the package.json, because the idea here is not for this to be deployed alone by itself. It's going to be deployed within the whole application in this case. So it's a lot easier to write it like this. So if you want just to go forward and create the necessary nodes you need and just deploy the application as a whole, like it's a normal monolith application, for example, you could do that. Or if this could be part of your microservices architecture, you also could do that. It's going to be the same thing as you would be deploying like in like Express or any other framework using Node.js, and that's basically it. Now, talking about the Python nodes, it's the same thing. We're gonna be creating here a Python node, and then we choose Python 3, and then we can see that the Python was already created. We can basically go there to runtimes nodes, and we're gonna have to see it right here. So cd runtimes Python nodes, Python nodes. So you can see the Python node here, node.py, and it's very straightforward. It's just a way to define our node. And the cool part is that there's no difference when you have to use this node within the workflow. It's the same thing. You're gonna be doing the same exact thing as you would do with a TypeScript node. So the cool part of it is that's really easy to use, and that's it. Now let's say that you want to create an UI node. So same thing. Let's run the same command here: npx Nanoservice-TS latest create nodes, and then let's say UI node TypeScript. It's going to be just a class, and then let's use the UI EGS VRGS Tailwinds SS templates. Good. Now we just go there within nodes again. We have our class node here. I have the example, and then we have our created node. Let me just run npm install here real quick. Okay, good. Let's restart TS server. Not sure why it's just getting a problem, but that's okay. Maybe it's just my editor. But the situation here is also really simple. What we are doing here, we're just defining some information for that particular node. So the idea here is that this node is going to render HTML at the end. We're using EGS here, so as you can see, some bubble stuff. So basically, the idea is that when you have a workflow, when you access that workflow on a browser, you'll be able to see this HTML being rendered there. So the cool part is that it already comes with the CDN from Tailwind CSS. This is everything's already defined here, and then we have this add. We have this index.jsx here, so you can basically use React within it and have some UI coming out from it. So if you don't need something that is very complex, you don't need a Next.js or something like that. You just need a very small front end application. For that matter, you can use this option here. It's going to be a lot easier for you. It's gonna save you a bunch of time just creating whatever you need here. And the cool part is that if you're already familiar with React, you can just basically write it using JSX, and everything's going to work outside the box. So good. Now that we already covered all the nodes, let's talk about how we can use ChatGPT to generate the logic of the nodes that we need. Now to see that in action, all we can do is just go back to the Blok.build, and then here you're gonna see generate AI node, and here you're gonna see every kind of option we can pass to create this node using the ChatGPT. And all you have to do is go to your application. You can go to .env local and builder API key here. Just go to the OpenAI platform and generate an API key, and that's it. And then just paste it in there. Also you can choose to pass it along within the command. So I already generate your command, npx and CTL latest to generate AI node, the name, yeah, it's better to see now. The name of it, prompt. So I want to create a node that removes properties that I define on the input schema. I'm passing along the API key here, and then all you have to do is just press enter. So it's going to start generating that node code snippet. Okay, great, awesome. So if we go to nodes, we see AI node here, and we see the class that was generated, and boom, just like this, we can see we have our input schema here, the properties. We have an object. We have the properties to be removed as in type array, and basically that's what happens here at the lodge, as you can see. So if you are a little bit lost on how you can create nodes, all you have to do is just use this new option within OpenAI, and it's going to basically create your node within no effort at all. It's going to follow the prompt that you define, and it's really easy to use. So use this as much as you want, because this is going to help you a lot when you want to define some nodes or some kind of logic, and you are still getting to know Blok and don't know 100% how to start creating your nodes. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the channel, leave your like, leave your comments. I would love to hear what you'll be building to Blok, or what you decide to start building using it, and let's connect together. Just don't forget to check our Discord community. Also, we have a lot of people there. Any kind of doubts you might have or comments you might have about Blok, just leaving there in the community, and let's connect together and talk about it. That's it. I hope I see you in the next video, and have a good one.